Alright, I want to make a video on how to put your harmonica back together. uh, I kind of knew how to do this, even though I haven't done this very much, but I could see where if you took it apart, you might be confusing how to get it back together. So I wanted to point some things out. I kind of put it back together. If you're wondering why you take your harmonica apart, well, you're probably watching this video because you took it apart, but you take them apart to adjust the reeds. And this is the bottom of the harmonica. And we're talking about a Hohner. I don't know if there are other ones. This is a Hohner Special 20. And a couple of things to note on it. So you're like, okay, if you get all this mixed up and you're like, well, what's the top and what's the bottom? Well, you'll have, to your right hand side, you'll have the, your key on the top plate here. And I don't know how similar the bottom looks. I guess the bottom also isn't quite as decorative, and it says where it's made. And I think it says made in Germany. And the top will have a picture of a little guy in the one corner, be a little bit more decorative looking, and again you'll be able to read the your key there. Also, if you look at your screws that hold the whole thing together, they're gonna go down from the top. So if you've completely taken everything apart and don't know how to put it back together, that's a key there. So that makes this the bottom. Now, another thing you might be going, well, you know, what's the front and what's the back? Well, just start from the top if you can read it. Also, a better way is, it's got the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to, they go 9 and then, they actually went to 10. I thought they might have just put a 0 there. So if you can read the numbers, that's the top also. And you know this is the 1 key, and this is going to be your deepest note, and the 10 is going to be your highest note, so that'll help you out. So will get you on the case here. In fact, what I would just do is look for the numbers. If you can see the numbers, then you know you got the top plate, and your 1 wants to be on the left hand side. Now if you take, and these little square pieces, these are the very bottom, and they're what the screw attaches to here. So they go right there. So if you've taken this all apart and you're like, well, how do I get it back together? There's a black piece right here, but if you just look at it, here's the holes, and the holes are gonna be towards your mouth. So if you just held it like this, knowing nothing else, and your bigger reeds are gonna be your deeper notes, and the shorter reeds are going to be your higher notes. So your deeper note's going to be your 1, and your shorter note's going to be in the 0. So you always know. Of course, you might have it completely flipped around, and you're like, well, how do I tell this goes, which way? Again, this is going to face towards your back, so your options are, it's never going to be like this, because that doesn't make any sense. It's going to be like this, where your blowholes are to your back. And you're wondering, does it go like this or does it go like this? The screws, one thing is the screws will fall through one side and thread into the other. And the threaded side is going to be on the bottom. So that's, again, I guess probably the easiest way to look at it. Also, this will only sit on here one way because of the way this notch is. It goes around the black piece. And so, that'll naturally put the plate. If you put your big reed on the left side, on both of them. Also, when you blow, if you look at the reed, you can tell this is a draw, because here's the hole. You'd suck air out, and the reed would face the direction that it's going to vibrate, kind of, if that makes sense. So it's pointing towards the hole for a draw. That means the top ones have to be pointing away, and if you were to flip that over, this looks just like this, but this is upside down, as it should be. So what I'm saying is, this reed is attached on this end and it flaps away from you, because when you blow, it goes that way. So that's another way to tell which way you got this. Also, the last thing that might be kind of tricky is if you're wondering, for some reason they got extra screw holes, and you're like, well, I didn't pay attention to what screws they go into. So first thing you want to know is just put in the 2 center ones, because you're good to go there, and then work your way out. So just from the center, put the next 2 top ones, And on the bottom one, there's only 2 bottom options. So basically you don't use this one here and this one here. Now these bigger ones, that's what, I'm pretty sure that's what this is going to fit through. I'll see here. Yeah, so that's what that'll go through. And so I'm not 100% sure why they have these little extra small ones on the end. But so to finally put this whole thing together, you're just going to place this on top. And again, try not to bump your reeds though, because I just adjusted this, and actually I'm kind of pushing on them. I shouldn't be doing that. So then you put your bottom piece on. And in this case it's getting kind of, it's sliding around. Oh, I wonder if that, there's no little grip thing there. So what I'm just going to do is drop the screws in, and then they'll just go through down here. I could see where you could get confused here. Did they offset that? Yeah, they offset that. So if you look, your screws aren't going to line up unless you put it together right. So that'll help out. I guess another way to look at this too is from this end, you're going to have air holes on this side. When I say air hole, exit air holes, and this side is going to be tapered to tight fit, so when you blow, you're not leaking out the top and the bottom. So that's another way you can tell how you're putting this thing together right. And so I just drop my screws down, and it looks like I'm just a little bit off, which is kind of weird. There we go. Anyways, I'm not going to sit there and make you watch me fight this. There it goes. That one went through. Finally got them. And then the final step is just to hold these on and get these started. And then for decorative, I like to make them square, but nobody can see them except for you. Also, another little tip. I'm not going to sit there and let you, because it's kind of tedious to put that on, but I finally did get these screws through. When you're playing the harmonica, a lot of times you'll pick up the harmonica and not realize you have it upside down. And one little cheat that I do is I just brush this area with my finger, and if you have the round surface up here, you'll feel that it's nice and smooth. But if you brush it and you kind of like hang up, you know you got your harmonica upside down, because it's kind of hard to see those numbers. You know that this is a 1 and that's a 10, but if you have it upside down, you couldn't tell. But anyway, so that's just a little tip when you're just picking up your harmonica, so you can tell which way you're holding it. I hope this video helps somebody out, and if it's not very good, let me know. Oh, hopefully this showed up on film. If it's not very good, let me know, and I'll try to make a better one.